Wakey, wakey.
Welcome to the Will and Tom Show.
Yeah, just dozed off there.
Yeah, the third episode was really a doozy.
Oh, terrible. I'm sorry, I'm drinking one more.
Yeah. Yeah, yes, don't think of your mouth, eh?
Jesus.
We don't need lube for that. Now we're eating licorice, actually.
I shouldn't gag. Gagging on air is something very terrible.
Should we tell the boys and ladies and gentlemen and women and girls and...
Cunts.
as soon as he said it, that was absolute brilliance. He said it, and midway through the word, you could actually see his eyes go, crap, did I just do that? Oh, that was amazing. So yeah, we will tell the boys and girls and cunts.
I think that video will be on YouTube then. Oh, Jesus.
We need to have such a Peggy 18 warning before we put it up. What was I saying? Oh, I know again. This is the fourth episode.
Welcome
to the fourth episode.
Welcome to 2015. It's a new year,
yeah,
for
true.
fuck's sake. Oh, that's a good start. Seriously. Oh, I got tears in my eyes.
I always forget that, you know.
Yeah, no. Well, you were quite drunk, so that's no surprise. Oh, jeez. We shouldn't eat while
Oh, I actually like it. I'm very curious what it sounds like. We're actually doing this as a sort of experiment, but let's not start because we haven't even started the show properly.
No.
Welcome to the Will and Tom Show. The fourth episode, which
Yes.
is Moving House.
Exactly. Yeah.
With me, Will, and you,
Tom.
That's it.
It took me a while to get used to my name.
Yeah.
There have been times. I think 2 weeks ago was when I. Was that 2 weeks ago? Was it last? No, last. 2 weeks ago was when I didn't know my name. I think I was. Was that the second episode? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And we also
Wasn't it the thing that in the third episode you said that we talked a lot about Africa in the
Exactly.
second episode, and we didn't. Did
we didn't know.
No. So I think you misremembered that. Or for the people that are listening, who obviously know that we recorded the third episode before the second episode.
Yeah.
Realized that it
I'm
was
just doing a
joke.
reach around.
Yeah, that he was actually doing a joke, and it misfired on him because he forgot about it. The very
Totally.
next week, we recorded the second episode.
Yeah, that was brilliant. Because I wanted to make it a kind of a long run joke, saying this is talking about Africa, and then we didn't because we just forgot. So hey,
No, not we. It was your joke.
I know
You
I should
screwed
have.
up.
I should have made it work. Yeah.
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 So,
Anyways. So yeah, this is the first. Seriously, not a good idea.
yeah, we're eating licorice.
Yeah, you said that before.
That's really. Did we say that before?
Yeah.
It's really not the best thing to eat on air.
No,
it
because
gets
it's
sticky
gooey and it's just in between your teeth
and
and
you're going to
everywhere.
do this a lot, where you
Yeah.
speak like this.
No,
No.
but this is actually the
That's
first.
really cool. We're emptying the bag as we speak because it just has to go.
Yeah, it has to. So, first episode of
You hear that as
2000.
well?
Yeah, sure.
Probably really annoying.
Well, didn't we talk about sound effects once? Anyway, so this is the first episode of 2015.
By the way, that snoring sound, we actually got an old man from the old people's home. If you hear helicopters in the background, that's because they're looking for him. They didn't know where we took them. But there was an old man, and we just took him to get the snoring. Yeah.
Well,
We now locked him in the bathroom
no,
because we didn't have the sound anymore. Can people understand me what I'm saying right now?
not really. I'm just thinking about Ronnie.
Why are you thinking about Ronnie?
Maybe it was Ronnie who was snoring. Maybe he's coming back.
Can we make such a thing that
The
Ronnie...
horror in his face.
Yeah. I'm not even talking into the microphone. Seriously, food is so distracting.
Yeah, food and boobs.
Food and boobs,
That's
yeah.
the thing that gets you all the time.
What happens when you mix food and boobs?
You get a delicious buffet. It's a, it's a slutty buffet.
You didn't even have to think about that one. I want more of these shapy ones.
Sure. We've been discussing earlier if it is. We don't have the blimp anymore, right? Now
No, the blimp is
it
gone.
was something that looked like a U-boat, and
A U-boat! A submarine.
oh Jesus, that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a piece of licorice, and it either looked like a submarine or like a blimp.
Exactly.
And I thought it looked more like a blimp.
Can you move house with a blimp?
Sure.
You can just attach everything you need, right? Underneath it,
Depends.
long strings. And
I wouldn't go in a blimp anymore. I mean, of course I would still, but
anymore. So you've been in a blimp?
no, I meant more after the Hindenburg.
Really. Okay.
It's
Now,
a big floating bag filled with hydrogen.
not anymore.
No, what do they fill up with now? Children's dreams.
Hot air.
Unfulfilled children's dreams. Yeah, a hot air balloon. But a blimp.
I think it's just.
Air. Dead air. And full circle to the first episode.
Jesus. This is a
Anyway.
good beginning. This is a good beginning for a
It's
new
definitely
year.
better because remember the third episode was really recorded after a very long day.
Yeah.
And we were really quite tired, and
Yeah.
it was actually the second episode that we ever recorded. That
Yes.
was why it was so boring. But we discussed it as length actually in the second
We
episode.
did. We
as
don't
well.
have to go there again.
But what I was just about to say is that this episode was just very cheery.
Yeah. And we didn't check when we started.
That doesn't matter.
So we just talk.
Yeah.
Until I need to leave. Because today we are kind of in a situation that we're on a bit of
I
a
think
schedule.
this is about maybe the 5th minute or something.
Yeah, could be.
Maybe not even. So
No.
if we say that we started about 5 past,
Yeah, that's
not
true.
even, I think.
No,
8,
no.
What do we say?
Yeah, I'm just
Wow.
go for it. So we're a bit on the schedule because I'm leaving later.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have to get through the package
He
of
has a
decorations.
date. Ooh. What's his name?
John.
Anyway. I hope it doesn't sound disgusting. I mean, not the gay jokes, but the eating.
Well, I think it's too late for that.
So what else do we have to discuss? I mean, moving house. What
Moving
was the
house.
topic? Did you want to say what about recording?
What that?
Cheating?
Cheating? I have no clue. You go ahead. Maybe you. No, seriously, I don't have no clue. What? Cheating?
Episode 4.
Yeah.
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 When did we record that? What is it? What is
The 3rd of January.
Okay.
Or something like that. I think it's the 3rd of January.
Is it the 3rd of January?
Yeah.
Let me quickly look 2 weeks ahead.
Don't do this. You just ruined it.
2 weeks from now is indeed the 3rd of January. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but we
true.
welcomed everyone to 2015, so that was a lie.
No, because they are in 2015.
But we are
We
not.
are sent from the past
Is
to
it
our
time
new.
traveling? It is a bit.
Yeah,
Because we are sending ourselves back in 2 weeks to go forwards 2 weeks to today. you have to rewind that and listen to it again.
Yeah, that's needlessly complicated.
So you have to go back 2 weeks and to travel 2 weeks to
If
now.
they now actually rewinded it, they've heard it 4 times.
That's
you
good.
idiot.
Anyway, so yeah.
I just wanted to say the licorice is nearly gone. So I think there will
only
be a
get
moment in
better.
this episode where you won't have that annoying sound anymore.
We could just stop eating. It's just why don't we?
I will stop eating
Yeah,
when the licorice is gone.
maybe 2 more.
I have 2 more. You have 3 more.
So on my side, it's going to be a bit more crazy gibberish. Well, anyways,
Yeah.
it doesn't change anything. Only harder to understand crazy gibberish.
Why did we pick the topic moving out?
That's a good question. We kind of thought it would be brilliant because there's everyone can relate to, and
There's a lot of people that have never moved house before. Well, I
Wow.
think people that listen to this have at least have done their student times and everything where they
yeah.
there's
Move
also
on.
sort of moving house.
And moving is something where a lot of stuff happens that shouldn't happen, like people dropping your stuff and then telling they didn't, even though you saw them dropping it.
That's
It
all.
happened to me.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
well, a good friend.
Was back then. No, it isn't. No, it's just one of these cases where you put books on the bottom, and then you feel that the box is getting too heavy.
Yeah,
So you add stuff that's not as heavy.
yeah, of course.
And in my case, it was a DVD player.
Yeah,
I put it on top, and it said on the box, it said, "Don't throw around because it's breakable." And he took it out of the van and dropped it immediately because it was a bit heavy, maybe. And I saw it. I was looking out of the window, and it was that moment when he was looking around if there's anyone seeing him, and our eyes locked. So he saw me standing, and he just looked away again. And he came in and said, "Did you just drop the box with the DVD player?" He looked at me and said, "No." I said, "I saw you out there." "No, I just put it down because it was heavy." I said, "Yeah, sure, but nothing happened." But
No, of
you could
course,
see from the way that
the
the
fact
books have
that he
moved
just
around.
says-
And I saw it dropping it. So
I have a story topper for that.
yeah,
Yeah, we were moving house, me and my brothers, I think it was just the three of us. There was an envelope with the key in it for my next house where I was moving to. And we had to drive, I think, maybe 30 minutes or something on the motorway. And we left it in the cart that we had rented to put the stuff in the back. So that the last person to put stuff in would take it. And we would have it. But we forgot about it, all three of us. So it was just laying there. And when we arrived at the new place, the envelope was still laying there. The keys had fallen out.
Jesus.
I still have no clue how that happened, but we drove back over the motorway, looking at logical spots like a big bend or something where it could have fallen out.
Oh God!
Because that's the only thing you can do. We didn't have any second keys or anything. It was just that those were the keys.
Jesus.
And the brilliant thing, it was a first story window in a shopping street. So below there was shopping things, and it was a Sunday, so everything's closed.
Nice.
So we actually thought about breaking and entering, and then we saw some police officers. So we thought, we'll just ask them if it's okay to break and enter in this new house that I'm going to live in. And they said, yeah, go ahead. And we had to stand on top of the cart. We put such a thing that you put in a bed. I have no clue what it's called in English.
A roast?
Is it called a roast?
No, it's not. Oh, I don't know so.
It's the thing that you put your mattress on.
Yeah,
We put that on top of the cart so that we could stand on it. The cart was such a bit of a square box, but then quite high, a couple of meters high. And we stood on top of it so that we could break into the house and then load everything inside. Because, of course, we...
Through the window?
Well, the funny thing is it actually had a door on the outside wall. Because it's one of those old houses where I think they used hay bales or they used to have a balcony or something,
Okay.
So it had a door. So I could... We broke a window, one window, just by smashing it. Then got in and then opened the door so that we could move everything through that door. And I had to stay there for the night as well, which was actually not the plan, but I had to stay there because of the broken window, and of course your stuff could be stolen. But the funny thing is that our neighbours across the street, my new neighbours, saw us doing that stuff. They called the police.
Oh, brilliant.
But the brilliant thing was that the same police officers that we spoke to before showed up and said, it's you guys. And then just moved along. And that was it.
Yeah, lucky then.
Yeah.
That could have gone wrong.
Yeah, but I learned a lot of things in moving, actually. And the main thing is that if you take a cart and you just rent it from somewhere, like Dutch people can use for Gamma, Germans would go to Obi or something, and you just rent it, or even IKEA, whatever, and you just go in broad daylight, you wear relatively normal clothing, with 4 people that look a bit normal, youthy, you can just go into a house, walk in and out, and just go, oh yeah, I'm moving. No one cares.
Yeah,
if it's broad daylight.
So there's a Will and Tom Show top tip for you.
Yeah.
If you want to rob a house, go in broad daylight.
Broad daylight? Broad daylight. Go in broad daylight and make it for yourself. And it met hele here snel.
And get a van from IKEA.
Future English teacher.
No.
Prospective English teacher.
Actually, when is this going online?
Oh,
no,
right,
no.
okay.
Still,
yeah.
Future.
Okay.
5 days.
5 days from now.
Yeah.
Hello. My name is Tim.
Tim.
I'm going to be your English teacher.
Yes.
So, yeah. That was my moving house story.
That was kind of insulting.
What?
The last thing was very insulting.
What, me doing the voice?
Yeah,
Why?
I don't sound like that.
Yeah, of course you don't.
No, I don't.
That's what the joke is about.
No.
Because before you said bread daylight.
Yeah, but that's a slip of the tongue.
I know, but I know you don't make any vowel into an A sound.
Yeah, why do you go on about like a bitching monkey?
A bitching monkey?
Bitching monkey.
This is the first fight on air, people. Live.
Oh, we should...
Live recorded in advance 2 weeks ago. Put on YouTube for you to listen 2 days after we've put it on YouTube.
Oh, we should throw
While you're probably doing
I
something
still have
else.
licorice.
You still have licorice.
I thought something was wrong with me because my mouth was... Suddenly I was speaking so...
Eloquently.
Yeah, well... kind of.
So yeah, that was the topic moving house.
Okay, good. So that's it for today.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening.
This is really not it, eh? No, it's been about 10 minutes.
No.
Maybe a bit longer.
The boot.
A bit longer.
Out in the boot.
So yeah. So this is 2000. It should be 2015. Of course,
Yes.
it's not. We're actually recording this on the same day as we have recorded the second episode. So the order in which we are currently recording is 1, 3, 2, 4. It sounds a bit logical, but I think the 5th episode will actually be recorded again on the same day.
Yeah.
But we do this because, of course,
We have
Christmas. Christmas is coming up. New Year's is coming up.
Yeah.
We're both in different countries, probably. Very likely.
yeah.
It's just too much of a hassle to.
I'm in Morocco with my third wife.
But, yeah, we were actually because they celebrate Christmas like crazy in Morocco.
Absolutely, Moroccans are crazy.
Whew.
They're Africa. Delicious.
Anyway, what was I talking about? Yeah, so
Was that supposed to be something DJ?
is that French?
Was it actually
DJ.
gooey? Was it something DJ-y? DJ-ish?
I don't know. What do you mean by DJ-ish? Like
Was that supposed to be like a real sound?
it was a real sound.
No, but something I could like the scratching. Wait.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't supposed to be scratching.
Uh-huh.
I think it was supposed to be giving me time to think about what I was talking about.
Oh,
But
okay.
even this whole conversation, I'm still struggling now because I'm actually filling air just to make people listen to something.
Oh.
But in the meantime, I'm really thinking about what I was saying, and hopefully, at the end of this sentence, I have thought about what it was and can come back to it. Nope.
Well, this is scratching.
I think you can hear that a bit.
Yeah.
But he just scratched his cheek.
Yeah.
This is honestly, I've heard some podcasts in my life, and very often they do have some rubbish in there. But hearing someone on air scratch their cheek, that must be the lowest of lows, right?
Well, we're innovative.
We will have
Kind of.
innovative
Fuck you.
or innovative.
Innovative.
Anyway, we'll have a special episode where we shave on air for 35 minutes. You just hear people shave.
So, but I like the idea of listening back to our own episodes and making that an episode. So the 5th
Do
episode.
you honestly want to do that? Because that's going to be rubbish.
Why?
We can do that once as a bonus
Yeah,
thing.
but-
Because I think there's going to be a lot of silence.
No, not really.
No?
No. Well, it depends.
But if you do that, maybe you should. No, you can't splice in there. No, it should be live always. Well, we could do it, but make it a special episode.
Yeah, let's see.
I think I would actually like to do that bonus episodes. Every once in a while, just go, "Hey guys, we just thought of this."
Because we have nothing to do. No life.
Yeah, but the point is that sometimes like this, we.
By the
just
way, this is
record
my
two
last
episodes.
licorice. So after that one, I'll be
I
good.
could get a new bag.
I have diarrhea, black diarrhea. But
Yeah, right. Anyway,
I'll be fine.
black teeth as well, completely just brown and ugh. Your tongue as well is just completely brown.
There's something between my teeth. I can't talk with the thing staying on my tongue.
Yeah, but back to the point. I'm constantly making sort of points.
What for points?
What for points?
Are
What
we,
for
are,
points?
are we having a scoring system now?
No.
We need to have a scoring system for making points.
How? Who's going to be the judge of that? Whoever has the pen wins.
Ronnie.
You're Ronnie.
Ronnie is a totally, he's not connected to me in any way.
No, he's African.
What?
Wasn't he from the Middle East?
Arabia.
Yeah, Arabia is Africa.
Well, depending on where you go.
Well, he's from.
Well, he could be from South Africa.
I thought he was more of Tunisia or something. Is it?
I think it was Scottish Arabian.
Yeah, he was.
No.
Isn't that a country somewhere near Egypt?
Scottish Arabia?
Yeah, Tunis.
I think Scottish Arabia is somewhere between Munich and Potsdam.
For the Dutch listeners, Google Maps, please.
Yeah.
Do I now get a book with Google Maps or something because I plugged it?
A book?
Yeah.
Do you
Google
get
Map
a book
Atlas.
with Google Maps?
Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
Is it?
I'm plugging a hell of a lot of stuff.
It would be
This
big.
show actually is just so that if it ever takes off big time, I will just get a lot of free stuff.
Okay, so go ahead. What do you want?
Toblerone.
Yeah.
But not per se because I want to have it. I want to make that clear again. Not per se because I want to have it. But now it's more such a principle thing. I've mentioned it so often now that I must have one. What I would like to have. I think there's some stuff that I could have to give to other people. I actually would really like that. So I think...
Such a selfish person.
Yeah, sorry. No, I think honestly, if people out there, like companies and stuff, if they can hear this, which I'm sure they can't, yeah, that's the wind.
We have stormy weather.
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a winter storm on the 3rd of January. It is. Anyways, what do you want us to
yeah.
have? Toblerone?
Toblerone, yeah, no, but stuff. If people can send us stuff that we can just,
I'm not so sure. he just moves about in his chair, and he's now actually kind of sitting behind the microphone.
Yeah, but
Yeah, that's better.
yeah, is it really?
Yeah.
Hello.
Anyway,
So no, but if I like giveaway prizes and that kind of stuff. You know,
oh, so you mean we get stuff that we then give to our listeners?
that's what I meant. If people send us stuff that we
Okay.
can go and give away as a prize.
Yeah.
But of course, it shouldn't be fans listening to our show saying, "Here's a," I mean, if you like that, if you want to make a cute drawing or something, or knit a sweater.
Knit a sweater.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, I hope actually. I mean, since we are recording this as the second episode type thing, as in on the same day,
Yeah.
I'm actually hoping that by that the listeners have listened to this, I'm actually hoping that we will have a better background and stuff. Because basically, what we have on Facebook is a black background, also in the YouTube films, with a random font.
And the Will and Tom show.
In the Will and Tom show. And what I actually would like is that we have our own typeset and background.
Yeah.
It's recognizable.
Yeah. That would be nice.
Yeah. Some sort of a logo or...
Yeah.
So if any listeners out there and we haven't done it yet, or you think you can do it better, send us. I mean, you won't get paid for it.
No.
Not one single
But you get
bit.
mentioned. You get mentioned in the podcast,
Yeah,
and
yeah. You will be thanked,
on
probably.
Facebook. Yeah.
A bit.
We will sing a song for you.
Maybe. Yeah.
Ooh, he said maybe.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. So hey, that's something to look forward to, because we have beautiful singing voices.
Oh.
We have beautiful singing voices.
We have beautiful
Exactly.
singing voices.
So that
So,
we could do an episode where we just sing.
the entire time.
Exactly.
Like a musical.
That would be very nice.
Do you think so?
Yes, I think so.
But I think we get quite repetitive when it
Why?
comes to the melody.
You just have to think of other ways to sing. And that would be so amazing.
I can do the background instrument. That's not good radio.
No, that's not
Saying
good.
a couple of times. So, but moving house, is there any other thing that we can talk about? Because
Actually, I want a boat. Because we were talking about what
a
we want.
houseboat.
A boat, yeah. Not really a houseboat, I want a yacht.
A yacht.
A yacht.
What kind of
It should be long and white, but it should have a size that...
racist?
yeah.
Why do yachts, by the way, always have to be white? You see so many white boats. What's the deal?
Because you can't see them if they're not white.
What do you mean?
Because the sea is kind of greenish, bluish.
Yeah, but I think
darkish.
an orange yacht or a green yacht, you could definitely see.
Your yacht, but I think that...
What was that?
your yacht?
What does that mean?
That's Cologne accent for ja.
Right.
Your yacht. That is... I think you might not be allowed to. Because I think green is always military or customs or something like that. Orange is always Coast Guard, something like that.
That could actually be true.
So I think that white is probably the only color you're left with.
Yeah.
And blue doesn't make much sense. Because
No.
unless you want to go.
But there's so
high.
many other colors. Pink.
Yeah. No, but I want a yacht. But it should be...
What would you name it?
Ooh, that's a good question. Usually you give them terrible women's names.
Yeah.
Jacqueline. With a Y in the end.
Ugh.
Something like that. No, but it should have a size that I can still drive it on my own. Because I don't like it if you need a crew.
Yeah, of course.
Because that's rubbish. Because if you want to be on there, just basically... Because if you have a yacht, you'll be banging a lot of bitches. Sorry. So that went out to my second wife because she's going to kill me if I talk about bitches on air.
Why?
'Cause she's from a very, very, very violent African tribe.
They're called the bitches.
No, but she doesn't like it if I say
Oh,
terrible
okay. I
names.
thought, maybe there's a rival tribe or something that's called
The bitches.
The bitches. You say I'm going to bang a lot of bitches. Like,
Oh, that was actually clever. I kind of ruined it there.
a bit.
Yeah. I know. No, that should be fine. I want a boat, and I wanted to drive it on my own.
But so far, what you've expressed to want to have and plugging it has been Porsches and boats.
So you mean I should go for
start
something
small,
smaller?
Yeah.
Books is always something I need. So if there's, for example, Amazon or What else do we have?
We need to have specific things. You know?
Hoogadoodle. They can just send me vouchers.
Yeah, but that's go for stuff that's
Oh, that's
like Kinder Surprise or Milka or what do Germans like? Dickmann's dicke Eier. That's no joke for the Dutchmans out there. There is honestly a thing called Dickmann, and they make sort of negerzoenen.
These foamy things with chocolate.
Foamy things with chocolate around it. Yeah. And in Dutch they're called nigger kisses.
Yeah, Negro kisses.
But you can't say that anymore.
Can't you?
Now it's just zoenen.
Oh,
because that makes sense.
Dickmanner.
Yeah, and the thing is that
Man is that Dickman.
Dickmann is such a brand name, right?
Yeah.
And these things they also make eggs, I think.
Eggs?
Or just the things, but they call them Dickmann's dicke Eier.
I've never seen that.
They honestly supermarkets. They have them all year round.
Really?
Yeah.
Dickmann's dicke Eier.
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
Absolutely brilliant.
Are they hairy or are they Brazilian?
The Brazilian. Yeah.
Brazilian.
And very often black.
Ooh.
Which I wouldn't have expected with someone called Dickmann.
This is now getting confusing.
Why?
Why are they supposed to be black if they call Dickmann?
Well, Dickmann is really a bit of more of a German name.
Oh, they should have white chocolate.
Yeah.
Racist?
Well, it shouldn't have, but I meant, you wouldn't expect Dickmann's dicke Eier to be black.
It is kind of interesting. This episode is about moving.
Where is it?
It is.
Oh.
So if you want to communicate with us, go to our Facebook page.
Yeah.
Go to facebook.com/The Will and Tom Show.
Write us to thewillandtomshow@hotmail.com.
Find us on Twitter at Will and Tom Show.
Yeah.
Find us on YouTube.
We couldn't do The Will and Tom Show because it was too long, I think.
Exactly, because you have to have a shorter name. So it's just Will and Tom Show.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely ridiculous.
And we wanted to abbreviate it, but we couldn't have that.
No, we couldn't have that either. No.
It was already taken, I think.
It was already taken by someone
Bastards.
very clever.
Bunch of twats.
Exactly that.
Wow.
Yes. Now, so communicate with us. Tell us what you think about the
Yeah,
show, about
write
us,
us.
about
Yeah.
anything at all.
Oh, and please, I mean, if you haven't yet, tell us what you thought about the third episode as well.
Yeah,
Whether you like such a format even, because it was a bit too serious maybe.
it was terrible.
We just listened to it for the first time.
Yes.
And did we like it?
No. Well, there's some bits in between where you think, yeah, they tried
Yeah.
and failed.
No,
but-
there's also some stuff where I felt, this brings back the cheer a bit.
Yeah.
But it was so much boring stuff.
But let's say the snoring at the beginning of this episode was
apt.
genuine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
it
apt,
was.
yeah.
There was no acting there. It was very boring. So if you, the thing is,
We really kidnapped an old person and put it in the bathroom.
but what you know what the weird thing is that this uploading stuff on YouTube, you can't do anything where you challenge people to listen to it completely.
What do you mean?
Like if you say we should do that once, we should hide hints in the entire episode. So you have to listen to it completely to get the hints and then win something. The weird thing is though, because for weeks we've been trying to vlog the mousepad for free. You don't have to do anything.
What do you mean for weeks?
Why is fourth
Well, this is
week?
the fourth episode. You're just assuming now because people haven't. The second episode is just been uploaded.
Yeah.
Literally,
half an hour ago.
not even. We
Yeah.
started this show when it was just finished uploading.
Yeah.
As in a few minutes before we recorded this
Yeah,
is when we uploaded it.
yeah,
So we only know that they've listened to the first episode,
yeah.
and
But you could win something in the first episode. So now it's a
That is
week
actually
later,
true,
and
yeah.
basically nobody did anything.
but we also have no prizes to give away anymore. The second
No, because-
episode, third episode, and the fourth.
That's true
episode.
because Toblerone hasn't sent anything yet.
No, but to be honest, I don't know if I would give away Toblerone.
I would give away a Porsche out of my crate of Porsches.
Shouldn't we just, if we get Toblerone, maybe I will just give away a piece of Toblerone.
A single piece.
Yeah.
Very generous.
Mm.
I think people would really, really go for
I
that.
can sign it. Bite in it already, have teeth marks.
Yeah, you can
Could
sign
be
it
worth a
with
hell of a lot of money. wouldn't
white paint. Because you see that.
What? Honestly, I was busy occupied with my own sentence, and then all of do you get that feeling when someone says something and you register it and go and then all of a sudden you think, what did he actually say? That's what just happened. White paint,
Yes.
disgusting.
No, it's because you can see it. It's easier to see than if you use.
You
something
were not
dark.
thinking of white paint.
What else would I be thinking of?
Yeah, right.
What else would I be thinking of?
Sperm.
Spunk. Sorry, mom.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Does your mum listen to this?
No, hopefully not.
Actually, I don't think my family even knows about this yet.
I think I told my mum, but she didn't really understand. I was just like, what's a podcast? It's something on the internet, but You are grown-up men. Why would you do something like that? What's like a radio show?
Well, the internet is only for children.
Yes, 16. That's the oldest you can get.
On the internet?
Yes, otherwise you have to watch porn and stuff.
Really? Oh.
Watch and make.
But if we make moaning sounds, does that count?
No. For every porn you watch, you have to make one. That's a new rule.
Is that?
That is actually the rule.
Okay. That's European, right? They want to enforce that.
I think it's German. It has to do with a lot of paperwork.
Oh, okay.
Because you have to, if you want to watch porn, you have to sign a statement and then get another one and have your parents sign it and then go to your municipal office and municipal office and have it signed again, get a stamp on it, and then you can watch porn. I think it's the same thing if you want to like something on Facebook.
Yeah, well, that's a bit less, I think.
Yeah.
Because I think even in Germany, if you want to watch porn and you plan on gratifying yourself, you would have to do a sort of a checklist with a certified member of the sort of the ADAC or the AA or ANWB for porn watching. They will check all the things, if the tubes and plumbing is okay.
Is it
if the hardware functions, the hydraulics are up and running.
Is it GPF?
If it bounces well.
The German porn force.
If the lift is.
Okay, this is a show about moving. Well, now we're moving something, but it's not the thing we wanted to move.
This was a show about moving house.
Exactly. So we had 2 stories about moving.
Yeah.
And the rest was just.
I moved quite a bit.
We moved quite far from, but it was fun.
No, but I moved quite a bit in general.
That was a sincere mark right there. I think at the end of 30 minutes of crazy
I could count it quickly if you want me to. If you can, but I think in general, I think maybe 6, 7, 8 times.
Jesus,
I think I've moved.
That's quite a lot. Yeah. I think I moved once, twice, 3, 4, 5.
This is interesting for the.
Oh, actually, yeah, I moved quite a lot as well.
Yeah.
I moved once when I was very young.
Yeah, same here.
Then when I was 6 or something about that, 5-ish. No, even younger, 3, 4. My sister was just born.
You keep them entertained. I'm going to count quickly.
Exactly. So then I moved again when I was 16. Then I moved out when I went to go study. Then I moved to England, moved back from England, and now moved to the place where I work. So it's 7 times.
Yeah, I think I counted 8.
Okay.
But I have the feeling
I
might have missed
there's
something.
a challenge for you. If you think you moved more than us.
9, actually. Yeah.
Okay, so 9. Willem says 9.
And in 3 countries, if it's the bonus.
Okay, so that's quite a lot. Okay, I can't do that. I have 2 countries. So Will has 9 and 3 countries.
9 and 3 countries, yeah.
I have 6 and 2 countries. So if you have more countries, more moves, anything, if you have more moves than us, then hey.
2 countries in a ghetto.
2 countries in a ghetto.
Belgium.
Brussels.
Yeah.
Don't get us started on Brussels and Belgium.
Do you think we ever get Belgian listeners?
No.
So it's safe for me to say that.
Sure. Shut it out.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's it for our first episode in 2015.
Really?
Yeah.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a shorter one than the other one, no?
I think we have more than 30 minutes already.
Probably.
Yeah. So
I mean, you know that a lot of time of recording this goes into saying how much how much we have recorded.
Oh, damn it! It's the same thing.
I wonder what this is. How this is. I mean, we sometimes listen back to it just to get what it's.
What it's about. What we have done.
Yeah, but also sometimes just to see if it was quality wise.
Oh, I have a headache.
Recording wise, okay.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Useful. So to see if it was recording wise, okay.
Yeah.
But people that actually listen to this, what? How? What's wrong with you? Anyway,
whatever it is, don't change it. We love you guys, and we love that you listen to us and that you like us.
Write us on Facebook.com/The Will and Tom Show.
Exactly. Go to Twitter, find us at Will and Tom Show.
Write to us at The Will and Tom Show at hotmail.com.
Exactly. And still, guys, try looking for us at YouTube.
YouTube, yeah.
It is difficult, but it can be done. If you Google. If you
Google, I managed once and
that's such a beautiful phrase that you used. If you
Google hard
enough, you will find us. So hit the keys as hard as you can.
Google hard deep pigeons.
Exactly. And
make it hurt.
We'll see you next week.
Make Google feel it. Take it like a bitch. No, listen. The thing is, I managed to find us once on Google by entering The Will and Tom Show Christmas episode 1 or something, and then I got it on I think the first or second page.
Okay,
but quite relatively at the bottom.
Yeah.
On YouTube, on my phone app, I could find it immediately on the first page just by entering The Will and Tom Show.
Yeah.
just on YouTube, entering the Will and Tom Show, with all the tags that we have entered, doesn't result in anything for the first 7 pages.
Okay.
Strangely enough.
Yeah.
But maybe by now it's moved up.
Yeah, maybe.
But otherwise, just go to Facebook.
Exactly. You can find us there.
Just
all the information you need.
Yeah, exactly. Just look at our YouTube links, and you can even save the YouTube or like it or follow it.
Yeah.
We have followers on YouTube.
You can
as well.
follow us on the YouTube.
On the YouTube, yeah.
Yeah.
Them YouTubes.
On the interweb.
Them YouTube.
So anyways, you might realize I'm trying to get out of here. Because I still...
you still have an appointment. I don't have anything for the entire evening, so maybe I should stretch this out a bit and just,
But I might have to take the microphone.
And we get such a very cliche fade out.
Can we do that? We can actually do that. Should we do a fade out?
Or we should have such a thing where we just hear you walking away and driving.
Yeah, or something. Or what I also like is when like on the Oscars.
When you immediately.
No, when just music starts playing, people and they play you off the stage.
Yeah, but we can't do that because we
can't
don't
do
have
that,
anything,
and we don't do after.
Also, what I would like once is just mid-sentence click.
Yeah, we can.